So AI is literally everywhere, right? But cutting through all the hype and the noise, well, that can be tough. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Take artificial intelligence from this big, complex buzzword and turn it into a tool you actually get. Let's flip that confusion into confidence. And this quote, wow, it just nails why this matters so much. We're not just talking about some new app on your phone. This is a massive, fundamental shift in, well, everything. How we work, how we create, how we live. It really is a wake-up call.
It feels like every single day there's a new crazy headline about AI, doesn't it? It can feel like you're trying to find your way through a storm without a map. So let's think of this as your map, a simple guide to help you navigate this brand new world.
And look, if you feel that way, you're not wrong. That feeling that the world is changing at lightning speed and you're trying to keep up, a lot of us feel that way. But this isn't about being scared. It's about getting ready. So, let's just take a breath and start at the very beginning.
Okay, so to really get a handle on AI, you gotta know it didn't just pop into existence last year. It actually has a story, a history, and once you hear it, the whole thing becomes a lot less intimidating. You can see here the journey of AI was not an overnight thing at all. It really started with a big question way back in 1950 from a guy named Alan Turing. Then the field officially got its name in '56. We had huge moments like a computer beating a world chess champion, and then, boom, the deep learning explosion in 2012 that really paved the way for all the crazy tools we're seeing today. But with all these different steps and milestones, what was the spark? What was that one core idea that really lit the fire and got this whole thing started? It actually boils down to a single, powerful question from over 70 years ago.
It all came down to this simple but brilliant question from Alan Turing: can machines think? And to figure that out, he came up with a really clever blind test. The whole idea was to see if a machine could act so human that it could actually fool a person. And that single idea, it became the philosophical launchpad for the entire field of AI.
So here's how the game is played, basically. You've got a judge, C, who is having two separate text conversations. One is with a real human, B, and the other is with a machine, A. Now, if the judge can't reliably figure out which is the machine and which is the human, the machine passes the test. The whole game is just about imitation.
Okay, so that's the history. But how does an AI actually learn stuff? This right here is the key to understanding modern AI, and believe me, it's a huge leap from where things started. You see, the first AI was all about rules. Think of it like a super strict recipe. If this happens, then you must do that. It was just a flowchart. But modern AI, that uses machine learning, and the best way to think about it is like a chef. Instead of just following one recipe, it tastes thousands and thousands of different dishes, or in this case, data, to figure out the patterns of what makes a great dish all on its own. It actually learns and adapts. And what's the engine driving this incredible new way of learning? It's something called a neural network. Now, the name sounds super complicated, but the idea behind it is actually beautiful. It's a system inspired directly by our own brains.
Just imagine information flowing in one side, the input layer. It then gets chewed on and processed through all these hidden layers in the middle. That's where the magic, the pattern recognition happens. And finally, an answer comes out the other side, from the output layer. It's not a literal copy of a brain, but it's a really powerful model based on how we think.
All right, whenever you have a technology this powerful, you're going to get a ton of myths and, let's be honest, fears. So let's just tackle the two biggest ones head on and swap some of that anxiety for some cold, hard facts.
And this is the big one, isn't it? When you're talking to a chatbot and it sounds so incredibly human, it's totally natural to wonder, is there something actually going on in there? Is it aware?
The short answer from pretty much every expert out there is a hard no. And this quote just says it all. You can think of today's AI as an incredibly sophisticated puppet. It's a master mimic. It's learned the patterns in all our language and just reflects them back at us. But there's no consciousness, no feelings, no inner life. It's a puppet, not a person.
There's this classic thought experiment that makes this super clear. Imagine you are in a room and you don't speak a word of Chinese, but you have this giant rule book in English. People slide Chinese symbols under the door, and your rule book tells you exactly which symbols to send back out. To the person outside, you'd seem totally fluent. But do you understand Chinese? Not at all. You're just following instructions. That's what AI is doing. It's a master of the rules of language, but there's zero true understanding.
Okay, on to the next big fear, the one everyone's thinking about. If AI is getting so good at all these tasks, is it coming for our jobs? The key here, and this is really important, is to think about it differently. It's not about job loss. It's about job transformation. AI is a tool. It automates specific tasks, not entire jobs. A great way to think about it is how tractors changed farming. They automated the hard manual labor, right? But that didn't end farming. It just created totally new jobs in things like machine repair, logistics, and food science. AI is doing the same thing for knowledge work.
Okay, so we've busted some myths. Now for the really fun part. How all this knowledge becomes your superpower. Because this isn't just theory. AI is a real tool that you can and should be in control of.
Because let's be real, AI isn't some sci-fi thing coming in the future. It's already here, woven into your day. It's the algorithm that knows exactly what show you want to watch next. It's your spam filter. It's Google Maps getting you through traffic. It's even behind the scenes on services like M-Pesa, learning your spending habits so it can spot fraud instantly. It's literally everywhere.
And this is maybe the most crucial takeaway of all. You don't have to become a coder to win in this new era. You don't. The real power comes from understanding what AI can do so you can use it strategically in your job, in your business, in your life. It's about being the person who knows how to use the tool, not the person who builds it. And that right there brings our whole journey full circle, doesn't it? We started out talking about that feeling of the ground shifting under our feet. We're ending with you having the power to get in the driver's seat. The AI era is here. Let's make sure you're the one at the wheel.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. If AI learns from this gigantic ocean of human data we've created, all our books, our art, our conversations, then it's really just a mirror. It's reflecting us back at ourselves. And the question is, what do we see in that reflection? What does it say about us? Thanks for joining me.